Hi, I'm a Sand Recap, and this is an animation to get. Wendell and Wild. Wendell and Wild, two cunning demon brothers, enlist Cat Elliot's help to bring them to the land of the living.
It's your do-over, KK, and we're going to help you heal.
Don't miss out on the latest movie recap. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and be the first to know all the details. The film begins with a carnival in the town of Rust Bank. Delroy and Wilma Elliot, the young Cat Elliot's parents, own a brewery and refuse to sell to the affluent Claxon family. A storm starts on their way home, causing Wilma enough concern to ask Delroy to stop, but he keeps driving. When Cat eats an apple, a two-headed worm emerges, scaring her. Delroy veers off a bridge and into the river as a result of her screams. Cat manages to make it out the window with Wilma's assistance, but she and Delroy tragically die. For the next few years, Cat will carry the guilt of this. Buffalo Belzer, a massive demon, runs an amusement park for souls called the Scream Fair on his belly deep within the underworld. Since Belzer's hair always falls out, his twin sons, Wendell and Wild, apply hair cream to the top of his head. Because of the sensation it provides, Wild consumes the cream and shares some with Wendell. Before Belzer tells them to get back to work, they appear to see Cat in a vision. Cat has been in and out of juvenile hall in recent times. Ms. Hunter, her handler, is taking her to a new school, RBC. They drive over the bridge where Cat lost her parents on the way there, and she notices that the brewery they ran has burned down and the arsonists have not been caught. Since the Claxons took over Rust Bank and drove others out of town with their business, the bank as a whole has suffered severe financial difficulties. Cat meets Siobhan, Sweetie, and Sloan, three cheery girls who have a pet goat named Gabby, when she arrives at RBC. To her annoyance, they begin calling Cat KK. Raul Cocolatl, a fellow student, observes Cat's interactions with the girls from above. Cat has a fleeting vision of pushing Siobhan away from a falling stone, but in reality, she does it because she is causing Siobhan annoyance. Siobhan believes Cat saved her life after Raul accidentally pushed against the falling stone. Cat meets Father Level Bests, the school's headmaster, who accepted her entry to assist in funding the school. She reluctantly dons her school uniform and plays her boombox while walking to class through the hallways. Sister Helly, her teacher, uses an imitation octopus for the lesson. The octopus takes on a disgusting form when she calls Cat to the front, causing the classroom to shake and become dark. When Sister Helly takes Cat out of the classroom, she notices a tooth-like mark on her left hand. Cat is instructed by Sister Helly not to reveal the mark to anyone else and that she can safeguard her. An entity known as Beelzebub informs Wendell and Wild that Cat has been selected as their Hell Maiden. The guys discover that Cat can transport them to the land of the living, where they intend to construct a Scream Fair that is significantly superior to Belzer's. Siobhan's parents, Lane and Irmgard Claxon, are on a golf course lamenting that the city council, led by Raul's mother Mariana, has stopped them from building prisons in Rust Bank. Father Bests, who is collaborating with them to deliver funding to the school, greets them. Sadly for the Claxons, the only dead members of the old guard who could help vote for approval are the Claxons. Father Bests is disoriented when he mentions how the two of them were to blame for the brewery fire, so Irmgard beats him with a golf club before they throw Father Bests into the icy water. Wendell and Wild visit Cat in her dreams because she has a nightmare about the accident of her parents. The mark on her hand is brought up by them. They try to get her to help by telling her that they might be able to raise Cat's parents from the dead, but first, she needs to find Beelzebub to do a ritual. Beelzebub is glowing and thumping around in Sister Helly's classroom when Cat sneaks out of her room and goes to her classroom. When Manberg, the custodian, enters to write on the board that Sister Helly is a thief, she hides. He hears Cat, but as she starts to run away, he misses her. Wendell and Wild discover that the hair cream can revive a tick that Wild had repeatedly squashed because they can do so. They think they might be able to revive a dead person with enough hair cream. Cat is approached once more by Siobhan and her friends after Father Best's funeral until she returns to Raul. He tells her that when he was still a girl and went by the name Ramona, he was in their friend group. But when he changed, they broke up. They walk to the cemetery, where Cat uses Beelzebub to find her parents' graves, while Wild and Wendell use their dad's soul jockeys to fly them to the land of the living. The ritual is carried out by Cat, but her parents do not awaken. Father Best's grave is discovered when Wendell and Wild emerge from the ground. They test their cream on him, and it works to bring him back to life. However, because his head is no longer attached to his neck, they give him a new look. Father Best hears Wendell and Wild's Scream Fair pitch, but he shows them how rundown Rust Bank is and how the theme park wouldn't work. He then gets the brothers to help him resurrect the old guard so that the Claxons can fund both the school and the theme park. Sister Helly, on the other hand, locates Cat and Raul and brings them back to the school. Kat dismisses her while she tries to reassure her that she understands what she is going through and places her in detention with Raoul. After that, Sister Helly meets Manberg using her own powers, who is aware that she is also a Hell Maiden. Sister Helly has been Manberg's method of summoning demons and capturing them for his own collection. After that, Kat and Raoul get away from the school while the other nuns aren't looking. But Sister Helly sees them and goes after them. When the 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬 find out that Father Bests is still alive, they meet him with the intention of killing him permanently. However, he reassures them that he can get their votes for prison by having Wendell and Wilde bring the members of the Old Guard back to life. Lane and 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬 join the ship and promise Father Bests that they will comply. But the 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬 tell them not to revive anyone but the Old Guard. Kat and Raoul discover Wendell and Wilde just as they are about to complete their task. Kat confronts them furiously, but she is tricked into swearing to serve the brothers forever, which is bound by the mark on her hand. While Kat goes to get them food, the brothers tie Raoul up and bring back the Old Guard, who all get extreme makeovers and come back as zombies. While Wendell and Wilde are tripping out of the hair cream, Raoul frees himself and takes it. Raoul revives Delroy and Wilma from their graves and informs them that Kat is in danger. When Kat enters the city, she discovers that Delroy and Wilma went to their previous abandoned house. Kat tries to show her parents that she kept her dad's boombox after a tearful reunion. Kat returns to the cemetery and discovers Raoul after they tell her about him. She grabs some hot sauce and uses it to cover her boots near Sparky, the brother's pet horse Parasite, giving the impression that he ate Kat and Raoul. They flee, but Sister Helly finds them and shows Kat her own Hell Maiden mark after getting irate with Kat about telling her the truth. Kat is brought to Manberg by Sister Helly so that he can bind them with blood and control her mark. Until the 6 Old Guard members arrive and are legally permitted to vote, Mariana and the town council gather to vote against the 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬's prisons. They overthrow the council so that the 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬s can continue building the prison and begin demolishing Rust Bank. Siobhan complains to her parents about the unfairness of private prisons, but they do not listen. Back at the school, Sister Helly assists Kat in confronting the memories of self-loathing and guilt that have grown into a monster that literally causes Kat to beat herself up. Kat tries to control them so that they don't make her feel bad anymore. Kat is then dragged through a portal and shown the memory manifestation, which appears to be a scared version of Kat. Kat is liberated and realizes that she has the ability to see into the future after reconciling her feelings and forgiving herself. Kat brings Sister Helly to Manberg to treat her wound after she falls asleep and hits her head. Father Bests orders Wendell and Wilde to go capture Delroy and Wilma from their home after learning that they have been resurrected. Raoul is there to witness this. Belzer also learns that his sons deceived themselves and that the soul jockeys assisted them in reaching the land of the living. He decides to go there himself. Until Kat and Sister Helly arrive, the demons bring Delroy and Wilma back to their graves to kill them. Kat no longer serves Wendell and Wilde and prevents them from fleeing as the mark's binding has been removed. After that, Siobhan comes across them all and reveals to Father Bests and the demons that the money her parents gave them is completely useless. Kat has a vision of Rust Bank being bulldozed to the ground as she warns her about her parents' plan. After that, Belzer rises from the ground to pursue Wilde and Wendell. Until he sees a large mural by Raoul depicting a mother protecting her child, he nearly drags them back to the underworld. Manberg also has a change of heart when he realizes Belzer's children are the demons he had captured and releases them back to Belzer. Wendell and Wilde see Father Bests pass away before the group leaves to stop the 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬s, and Belzer tells them that the hair cream doesn't last. Even though protesters show up, Lane and 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬 get ready to reveal their plans. The heroes show up to stop them, but the 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬s send the Old Guard to kill them with bulldozers and send them back to their base. They defeat the bulldozers by working together, and the Old Guard members revert to being dead. Raoul uses the last bit of the hair cream to get 3 brewery workers who can say that the 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬s started the fire back to life. 𝐓𝐚𝐠𝐬 and Lane are detained. Delroy and Wilma begin to die once more as the effects of the hair cream wear off. Kat shares a vision of Rust Bank coming back to life in the future during her final moments with them. After that, Wilde and Wendell outline their strategies for the Scream Fair and assure Kat that her parents will possess VIP passes. According to Kat's final narration, she is embracing new friendships with her schoolmates, Wendell and Wilde, and has made peace with herself.